Mr. Owen, in my personal opinion, financial independence is a worthy goal. Now, he really said that for a reason, because a lot of people are having problems with financial independence simply because they have some moral issues really confused in their minds about the value of money, or the danger of money, or having too much money, or that the true values of life are not wrapped up in money, so money really doesn't matter that much. And some people have some problems in this area, and I'll admit I had some. When I first started making more money in 1 month than my father made in 1 year, at first I was very disturbed by that. And guess what? For a long time, I wouldn't even tell my parents. I didn't tell them. I said, what are they going to think? I make more money in 1 month than my father makes in 1 year. How can I tell them? And I was really confused about that. I was really bothered by that for quite a while. I think it was several months. No, because here's when it ended. I finally worked up the courage to tell them how I was doing. I can't remember now just how I put it. I was just trying to figure out some way to put it right, to break the news to them so it, wouldn't be, too great a shock. I told them what I was doing and what was happening and what was going on. They were just incredibly delighted. They were terribly happy, terribly excited. And I discovered that I'd worried and been bothered all those months for nothing. Because I had this in my mind. How am I going to justify it? How am I going to, work this whole thing out? How are they going to feel? And sure enough, I had just conjured all this stuff up in my mind, and it really was not real. But some people really have some problems on financial independence because they feel that the morality of earning lots of money is a very valid question. Every once in a while, someone after my seminar says, yeah, I think you talk too much about money, success. And that's not where the good life is. The good life is not just money and success and making a lot of money and doing well financially. And I understand that. I really do. And I have pondered those subjects all these years. And I don't want it to make it seem like just going for money or financial success is where the true values are. They are not. And hopefully in my seminar, I've got enough in there to try not to mislead people that I'm just thinking of financial success. But so Mr. Shoaib said to me, in my opinion, financial independence is a worthwhile objective. He said, here's why. He said, Jim, once you get money out of the way, you can't believe the other dimensions of your life you can work on. Once you solve the money problem, he said, now you'll have the time, more time, to work on certain other projects of your life that will really start to grow and expand.
Okay, it's 2 p.m. and I want to welcome all of you to our my Eagle's Nest coaching call today, where we are, picking up where we left off last week with the steps of becoming a digital marketing specialist. And what I would like to do today is I want to review. We'll do a rather quick review, but I don't want to go too quick with our review of last week because review and repetition are very important. I've learned that as a coach, and it doesn't matter if you're a personal life coach, a pastor, a business leader, a father, a mother, whatever, any type of leadership challenge that you have, we learn by repetition. So anyway, we're going to do a brief review of what we covered last week. And then we're going to take it to the third step today. And really that starts to get into the mindset of a digital marketing specialist. And I really appreciate our opportunity because we've got so many just really qualified marketers out there that, some old school, some new school, some that are doing some things they probably don't even realize how well they're doing those things. But when we get into something new, it's certainly always a challenge, and that's what we're faced with here. The digital marketing economy that we find ourselves in now is becoming experts at this craft, and that's what it is. It's a craft, So anyway, let's just jump right into. Hopefully, my technology is going to cooperate here. Let's just jump right into a few folks still coming on our presentation. A few more coming in the call. Welcome to the call, everyone. Just blessed and honored to be here with all of you. And there we go. Hopefully we're going to be good to go here. All right. So reviewing last week, and again, this is about the steps to becoming a digital marketing specialist. So, the whole idea behind becoming a specialist in anything is really where we need to start. It's easy. And a lot of us, just want to come in and hey, what do I need to do to be good at this? You need to get understanding first, and all you're get understanding. So you need to know really what you're getting into. We talked about this last week. If you're going to become a specialist at digital marketing or anything for that matter, it really requires a lot. We need to count the cost of that. And I'm not going to be one of these coaches that tell you this is going to be really easy. It's just like anything else out there. There's a learning curve to it. It's going to take investment on your part. If you're going to become a specialist, or an expert at anything, you got to put thought, time, treasure, talent, commitment, discipline. Your mindset's got to be right. You got to be innovative. There's so many different challenges to it. And as a coach, I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it's like anything else. It's certainly doable for you and I. And if we're going to be successful, we need to, realize that and then do the things that are necessary to make sure that happens. So, we talked about the definition of a specialist, and again, it's really becoming an expert at anything that we do. So, that's what we're talking about here, is becoming an expert at what? Digital marketing and everything that's required of that. So again, count the cost. And if you're saying, yes, I'm willing to move forward, as we talked about last week, then, you got to start putting into time, and, it's anticipated that about 10,000 hours of practice are required to achieve anything. If we're going to become experts at this craft, like any other craft, it's going to take studying and books and courses and watching videos, attending seminars, all those things too. It's not difficult in that there's nothing new under the sun. And we're going to talk about, what really digital marketing is and what it isn't and some of those things. But, again, counting the cost, it's going to take some practice. I'm out there every day practicing, trying new things, doing different things, studying, reading, learning, watching videos, so on and so forth. And by practicing what you learn, if it's good, it's going to work out well for you. So that's part of it. Learning how to present. We'll talk more about that. It's about steps, and it's a process. It's a step-by-step process to success. So becoming a digital marketing specialist, isn't an overnight sensation. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and find yourself, being the expert in your field. And I know, because I'm going through that, process myself. So, as a teacher, I take it to heart and seriously to, be leading others. I've got to get out there and I've got to learn, myself first. And that's the process that any coach, that any teacher has to go through. So I'm learning. Hopefully I'll be staying, one step ahead of you. And, I'm having successes in some areas, in other areas, having challenges. So, it's a process, and understand that it's one step at a time. It's not going to happen overnight. And we talked about that again last week. So, in the beginning, we talked about the beginning of marketing, and that's where, things really start. So, all are get understanding, there's nothing new under the sun. The misconception is with digital marketing is that it's something new. There's nothing new when it comes to marketing. It's the same, as it was 2,000 years ago. And matter of fact, we talked last week about Jesus. I believe he was the greatest of all time, even though he wasn't a goat, he was the Lamb of God. But he was the greatest marketer of all time, because his work that he did back then and how he did it, still plays out today. So why not learn from the best? We talked about that last week, and we talked about how, everywhere he went, he created a stir, and he asked questions, and he got a following, and he gave them their healing. In our case, it's their solution. And he still keeps them today as disciples, by adding more value, by leaving the written word of God for us and his Holy Spirit here for us to lead us and guide us. So there's a lot to be said for the incredible work that Jesus did in marketing, and how he left a template for us that's still used today. The only difference between digital marketing and the sales process that Jesus used is the tools that we're using today are different. And, in Jesus's day, even Jesus, he was in a physical body. He couldn't be in all places at one time. Of course, he could have if he decided to, I guess, but he is God. But so he was in a physical body. We are too. We can only be in one place at a time. But with technology, you and I are able to, like Orlando is on the call right now, welcome Orlando, we can actually engage people from anywhere in the world, and that's something for you and I to think about. That's what's different now, is the tools that we're using to reach people and to build our sales funnel have changed. That's all. And we've got to learn how to use those tools. So, step 3 that we're going to be talking about today is what I'm going to call developing a funnel mindset. And so, again, last week we talked about, I've got a chat here. Let me check it real quick. Last week we talked about, you're welcome, Orlando. We talked about, the foundation being laid in that, the process, that template hasn't changed. But we learned in step 2 that it's going to take the understanding that it's a new tool. There's new tools that we've got to learn how to use. I being in construction for all the years that I was as an entrepreneur and a business owner, I remember just thinking about this. I owned a landscape company actually when I was in high school, 16 years old. I started my own landscape company, and some of the first jobs that we did putting in lawns, I bought this old tractor. It was a Ford 8N with a 3-point hitch on the back of it. And I had a disc and a blade, and that's all I had. And we would, every time, we had to clean up all the rubble from the job, it was shovels into the back of the dump truck. I didn't have a front loader on that tractor. Matter of fact, there was very few front loaders on tractors back in those days. They were hydraulic, they were slow, they were just really coming out. And over the course of the years, the last couple of years that I had my landscape company, I had a Bobcat that had, every attachment known to man on it. A rock hound that I could I didn't need to hand rake too much anymore. They had this rock hound that would collect all the rocks for you and put it in the bucket, and you just dump it in the dump truck. And I had these big augers that we would use to plant trees and shrubs with, and I could literally do an entire landscaping job by myself on my Bobcat. Start to finish if I wanted to. And so, but I had to learn how to use those new tools, and that's really what we're talking about here today. But we got to have what I call, and we've got to develop, and some of you have developed this, I already know that because you're marketers. So you already have a funnel mindset, but some of us don't. So, and like Jesus taught, some of us, aren't ready for the meat yet. We've got to learn to drink the milk first. And we want to make sure as leaders that we're bringing along those that are most in need right now to where we are. And that's what I want to talk about, developing a funnel mindset when it comes to digital marketing. And give me 1 second here. Anyway, all right. So, we talked last week about the 4 steps to creating a sales funnel. And I want to use this just kind of as a precursor to what we're going to be talking about here today. And that's that easy sales funnel. And, we make it hard, and I'm guilty of this myself. And I hope in that presentation that some of you were on here at 1 o'clock that you see it's really pretty easy. It shouldn't be a hard sell. It should be an easy process, but there's a process to it, and that's what a sales funnel is. It's a process. It's not a document. It's not a landing page. We call them funnels, and some landing pages are kind of like funnels. Some of them actually are funnels in a roundabout way if they're really intensive and if they really walk somebody through the stages of salesmanship or funnel. And some of them are so long that they kind of do that in a way. So you could call it a marketing funnel. But the real idea that you and I need to grasp is that we have to have a funnel mindset, a sales funnel mindset that works it's easy by engaging people. Okay. By engagement. And again, we talked about Jesus. Everywhere he went, he engaged people. He caused a stir. At 12 years old, he was teaching and preaching in the synagogues. Okay, that caused a stir. He went and everywhere he went, he healed people, and there was miracles, and he preached in such an amazing way, and he generated large crowds by doing so. And even though he sought to get away from those crowds, there was a reason he was doing that. I call it the 95-5 rule. We'll talk about about that more in a minute. But there's a step-by-step process, and that's what we're talking about today, the steps to becoming a digital marketing specialist. It's a step-by-step process. Starts with engaging people and then getting a following. And then how do we do that? We ask questions and we get people to think about what we call their pain, and we bring, by asking these questions, we learn more about them. We show them their pain, and then we're able to show them how our products and services and our ideas and things that we have to offer, our value add, can solve their pain. And that's what leads them to want to do business with us. It's a reputation and relationship building process. So the steps to creating a sales funnel, I like this kind of definition. This is my own. Sales funnel is the process of engaging the crowd to create a following with the goal of establishing a relationship, and that makes you the perceived expert. We'll talk more about that. That brings about the making of disciples. And in this case, what are our disciples? Well, our disciples are our customers and our associates. That's what we're looking to do here. Okay, awesome. I got a nice chat from someone about a new digital marketing course. Thanks for sharing that with us. I'll take a deep dive into that and look at that. So I appreciate that. So this, again, it's a sales funnel is the process of engaging the crowd to create a following with the goal of establishing a relationship that makes you the perceived expert, and that brings about the making of disciples, or in this case, the customers and associates. So we're trying to, obviously help people by adding value to their lives, and we're leading them to discovery that our services and products can help meet some area of need in their lives. And in doing so, they look at us as, someone that's helping them tremendously, that's someone that they want to do business with, and they become a customer and then even an associate, because we're talking about not only selling our products and services, let's be honest, but we're also talking about building a team. That's what we're here to do. So in digital marketing, if we understand that this is a process, that a sales funnel is a process of doing these things over and over again. And I got this image in my mind of this big, like tornado, and we've got a visual of that here in a minute that talks about that. So there's new people coming in, to that funnel all the time, right? As you're engaging them. And there's new people coming in, and there's some people that are already in the funnel, and they're to that second stage now where we've got a call to action. We'll talk about that, and we're sharing with them a value add, and they're interested, and now they've given us their contact information. And so we've got people in the funnel that are at that stage. We've got people in the funnel that are ready to hear our presentation now. They've gotten to the point where they're ready to maybe do a one-on-one with us. And we've got some people that are actually buying our products and services right now. They're using our services. Then we've got some other people that just love what we're doing. They've used our service. They love us. They're grateful, and they're out there telling others about us, and they become associates and part of our team. So it's a process. Sales funnel is also, number two, the process overall of everything you do online or otherwise. So I don't want to just talk about a digital marketing specialist as being just online, because that really limits our abilities. If we're just focused on doing business online and we're not using, let's say, the phone, we're not using meetings, or and we're not doing events, we're not doing all of those other things, then we're just going to limit ourselves to that one particular thing. Not that that's a bad thing, because with COVID-19 and the ability for us to do like Orlando's doing, from not even from this country, and be able to do business here in this country is an amazing thing, and that's the goal that we're trying to get everyone to. But again, it's the funnel is the whole process. It's everything you do online and otherwise that is ongoing. It never stops and is always engaging. It's always getting followers. And how's that happen? By adding value and then leading them to discovery with the mindset that realizes this is very important. And that's the ratio equation. And that ratio equation we talked about several weeks ago. By the way, I've got last week's lesson, on a video format. And if you want to have a link to that, I'll put that in the chat box here in a few minutes. to watch that. But, and I think it was the week before last, we talked about the ratio equation in the Eagle's Nest. And, just a little bit about that ratio equation in a minute. But right now, I want to give you a mental picture of what a sales funnel is. It's really a series of steps. We're talking about the steps to becoming a digital marketing specialist, but a sales funnel is really the steps that lead that take your leads and will intentionally take them through this process before they become your customer. So it's best described visually with that pictorial representation of the various sales stages commonly represented by an inverted or upside down pyramid or funnel. And the top rung is the widest, with all the leads that reach out to you, and the lower rungs are the ones who have made a purchase for you. So, and again, it's a process of having people coming into your offer, okay, over and over again. So the mindset, now this is what's really important, and this is the point of today's lesson that we want to understand as we're moving forward, is we want to have the sales funnel mindset that realizes the ratio equation is always in play. So what do I mean by that? Well, the reality is, and this is a perfect example, and I just took this off of somebody else's site, and this is one of those funnel sites. As a matter of fact, we're going to look at one here in a minute because I want to show you some digital marketing platforms that are out there just to show you kind of what I'm talking about with this. But if you look at this particular one here, you can see that there's a campaign that's going on here, and that's an email campaign to 40,000 leads. Okay, so this is a perfect example of it. So in our example given, e.g., 40,000 email leads were sent out and were sent to peak interest in this email. And we see that at the top of the funnel, there's 40,000 of them. But of the 40,000, only 4,000 leads actually opened up the email. And see, this is why you and I need to have a mindset where we understand the ratio equation, because like so many marketers, and I was guilty of this for years, we get discouraged and we start to, kind of give up because we don't realize the ratio equation. And this is very realistic. If you put 40,000 emails out there in today's day and age, there's probably only going to be about 10% of the people that open those emails that even look at it. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that you're a failure. That doesn't mean that you're not doing something right. It's called the ratio equation. It's really it's the parable of the sower that we talked about a few weeks ago. The sower went out with good seed, and he sowed his seed, and some of it fell on good ground, and that the seed that fell on the good ground brought forth an increase, some 10-fold, some 30, some 60, some even 100-fold. That seed that fell on the good ground, but a lot of his seed fell on thorny ground, and the thorns and thistles came and choked out the young plant, and it didn't make it. It didn't survive. The heat of the day, killed it. And there's the hard ground. That same good seed was thrown out, and some of the ground is hard, and they're not ready to receive that seed, and it withers and dies, and it's just not ready. So again, the parable of the sower is a perfect example of the ratio equation, because there's nothing new under the sun. It's the same yesterday, today, and forever. It's the 95-5 rule. So what is that? Now 5% of the people in the world control 95% of the wealth. Why is that? Because that 5% of the people in the world put in the time, put in the effort, put in the investment, put in the investment into education. They really learn how to do things right. It's been said that if you took away all the money in the world today, in 5 to 10 years, the same people would have all the money back again, and there's good reason for that. So, Jesus understood that. That's why he, went out and did what he did. He kept traveling from place to place. He stirred everybody up. He got a huge following, but he kept on doing it because he knew that, and what he was doing was, in doing that and building a team, that's what he was doing. We talked about that before. What a beautiful picture of a sales funnel. So he got his thousands of followers that followed him everywhere he went. And out of there, he got 12 disciples that he knew that would actually do what he was wanting them to do. And he chose them and he poured into them. And that was his team. And that team went out and still changing the world today with what they were able to do, by his message and by his leading and power. So don't feel bad when you've got an email campaign out there and you got 40,000 emails that you put out and only 4,000 people opened your email. Of the 4,000, still letting some folks in the call here today, of the 4,000 that actually opened the email, only 800 of them in this example actually clicked on the link. So there was a call to action in the email, and the creator wanted them to click on the link. That was the call to action. And when they clicked on the link, they were then invited to a webinar. So out of the 4,000 that actually opened the email, only 800 of them actually even clicked on the link to watch the video. And I know this to be true. I see it all the time. I can show you examples right now. I'm running some paid ads on Facebook and on YouTube, excuse me. And in doing so, I get, I can reach 2,000 people, 4,000 people, 5,000 people, and I'll get, all of those exposures. But out of that, I might get, 300 people that actually clicked on the link. And then you look at how long they watched the video. The majority of them were only for 6 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. But then a couple of them watched it all the way to the end. So that sales ratio continues to play out. So there were 800 of them that actually watched the video. And then out of that 800, there was 40% conversion. 40% of them, or 320 of them, actually signed up for the webinar. This is the one that's funny to me. Out of the 320 that signed up for the webinar, only 108 actually showed up. So, we have got to understand that this is really, it's a numbers game if you think about it, and there's nothing new under the sun. And it's the same thing in the digital space. The big difference is, and the game changer for us is, we can now reach more people. And that's what is really amazing about this. So, the gospel speaks of, in the last days, there's going to be this increase of knowledge and so on and so forth. And, that everyone is going to hear the gospel. And, there's a lot of ways to reach people now. We got a long way to go yet. But, it's certainly with the technology that's out there today, we're able to reach a large audience of people. We can do email blasts. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to purchase a couple email databases that are realtor databases that I'm going to be able to get 40,000 realtors in a database and be able to email them. So, we're able to do that today, but just understand, you're only going to get, so many that are going to actually attend your webinar, even though they say they're going to come. And then out of that 108 leads that actually attend your webinar, 10 of those leads, they actually want a demonstration. They want to sit down with you and do a one-on-one. Okay. And they want to see your product. They want to see your service. They want to talk to you. And they're getting very interested, and then out of that 10 that are interested and that got the demo, you've got them to that part, only 2 of them, not that that's a bad thing, actually bought your product. But that's a sales funnel. And, again, you have to have a sales or a ratio equation mindset if you're going to win at this game. It's just the way it is. So, if you want to look at the greatest of all time, again, look at Jesus. He spent his entire life really in pursuit of giving his life as a ransom for many, but getting his message out to as many people as he could, and to build a team that would go out and continue to share his message even today. So there are the road is wide. That narrow is the gate and difficult is the way that leads to heaven. But the reality of it is it's difficult for a reason, and in our calling that we're called to here, you've got to have some grit. You've got to have some mindset. You've got to understand that, okay, I'm learning how to use these new tools, but these are the things that I'm going to experience. So I'm just being straight up with you. I'm gonna put my funny looking glasses on now. These are my anti-glare glasses, but these are the things that are going to happen to you. These are the ratios that you're going to experience. So remember that rule, that 95.5% rule when it comes to the sales funnel mindset. But also remember, it should be an easy process. And again, I'm using these acronyms to throw them out at you because I want you to be able to visually see it and understand it. That number one, is to engage as many people as possible. 100%, you know, get the largest audience you can. How do you go about doing that in the digital marketing space? You've got to stir them up. You got to try different things. And you know, sometimes it's the craziest thing. You know, people remember this when they are going online, when they're on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, whatever, they are not on there to take out their credit card and buy something from you. That's the last thing that they want to do. But if you put together the right creative ad, some picture, some image, some video, some, you know, statement that gets their attention, and they'll click on your ad. Okay. So if you put it out there in front of 100,000 people and you get 10,000 of them to click on your ad, you know, that they're in the funnel now. You know, you've got them to do that. And now you're leading to the next stage. So that's where you want to have your call to action and start to ask your audience the questions in your ad or in your funnel. And again, that's the process, right? So, you know, I'm doing that, like I'm doing that from a corporate level. So my contingency are all you associates. So my calling is to learn as much as I can about you and ask questions and get to know you and see what your needs are, and then be able to give you the solution to your needs. So I can point you to what we have that's going to help you succeed. You know, so again, engagement, you know, reach as many as you can. Then, you know, have your call to action where you're asking the audience the questions in your ad funnel, ad or your funnel that points out their pain, and then give them the solution to their problem so they can see clearly how what you have to offer meets a need that they have. And then your funnel should lead them to the close, you know, one step or call to action at a time. So it's a step-by-step process. And, you know, Richard Marks did a teaching for us weeks and weeks ago where he talked about exposure marketing. And that's really what he's talking about here. It's a process. And Orlando, I've already realized, is very patient and good at exposure marketing. And he understands it's not a hurry up process. So, you know, if you think you're going to, you know, come in here and, you know, learn to be a digital marketer and suddenly have, you know, overnight success and things are going to, you know, take off for you. You know, 99.9% of those videos that you see on Instagram or YouTube, whatever, that are saying, you know, hey, you know, do exactly what I did here. And, you know, we use this to create $1 million in revenue and, you know, you'll be a millionaire like me. Most of that is just taking your money. And there's so many unsuspecting people out there that are buying into that crap. And it just doesn't work that way. Okay. So, you know, but just remember that 95-5 rule. Don't be discouraged and think about that. You know, how can I pique interest and get people's attention and so on and so forth. Have that funnel mindset that oversees everything that you do, you know, and then now the challenge is, okay, so we have to take that same mindset now and transfer that masterpiece onto our digital canvas space. That's the calling that we have. And I'll be honest with you, I've got on this call right now, let me see what I got on here. And I know I got Orlando on here. I can always talk about him because he's so successful. But I've got Chris Lyons on here. And I know Chris is a successful, you know, entrepreneur and businessman, I believe out in Texas there. And I've got Mike Houston. Mike's a perfect example. Mike is you know, he's a marketing giant, and Mike has a funnel mindset. He gets this, he understands this, you know. So, you know, we've got people on this call. I'm sure Rich is, matter of fact, Rich, by the way, you know, and again, you know, I do some homework. I went on Rich sent me an email, and I went on there and checked out his site, and on his email signature space, it's almost worth going to look at. It's wonderful, by the way, Rich. It's got, you know, you can tell by Rich's signature card on his email that he's got some experience in digital marketing. He's got attention getting. He's got a nice little landing page funnel on there of his opportunity, as some others do in the call today here. So, you know, Walter Seward, he's another one. You know, we got some great, you know, minds and folks that understand this for what it is. But our challenge is, especially for me and Walter and Mike and Joe Leach and Rick Roach and Orlando and all of us, is, you know, how do we transfer that funnel mindset? We understand it's about relationship, but how do we transfer that mindset masterpiece that we have, okay, and hopefully that some of you have now, that you understand the need for that, onto the digital canvas space? You know, that's the challenge that we have. So, you know, that's what we're really being called to do. So again, you know, here's another, you know, picture of that funnel. You know, we're getting the leads, and, you know, through whatever means that we can, and we've got out of those leads, we get our sales calls, we got our follow-ups, we get some conversions, we get some sales. So the reason I got this picture up here is because I got a link here, and let's just go to this real quick. And hey, it's working. And I want to show you, as a matter of fact, who was it? I think Joe Leach shared this with me yesterday, and I've checked into ClickFunnels before many times because, and again, when it comes to digital marketing, and Mike Houston and I talk a lot about this. Matter of fact, I was on a seminar this past weekend on digital marketing. There's a couple of courses that I want to take. And one of the instructors was talking about how they're being successful. And it's kind of neat because what they're doing is they're helping, individual home business entrepreneurs that are working from home. They got their office. They're a one-man show, basically, but they're teaching them the need to have a virtual assistant. Okay. And we're able to do that. We can actually get an assistant from the Philippines that speaks good English and things like that for pennies on the dollar that can actually do some of the work for us. And then we also should have a sales assistant, someone that's going to be following up with our leads and leading them with our funnel, to discovery and through the steps and following up with them, so on and so forth. Again, that's just one model, okay, that you can look at doing in building your business. And my passion as a coach is I'm interested in raising up lion leaders and eagle visionaries. And I know in the 95-5 rule that for every 1,000 people on Fund My Home that are an associate, really only 5% of us are really in here grinding, doing the work, and willing to pay the price and learn the things that we need to do to become successful. Those are the people that I'm speaking to, right? So we get people that come in on these calls, and they're going to come in there and they're going to say, oh, well, I don't want to hear about Jesus, and they're gone, or I don't, want to. I don't have to learn this. I already know that, but they don't realize, that, hey, it's a step-by-step process. And, you've got to count the cost and look at all this stuff and say, hey, you're right. This is something that, is challenging, and it's not easy. And if I'm going to listen, if you're going to grow let's talk about fundraising, for example, and I have a vision right now, and I've got 7 or 8 right now of our associates that want to create and will create a 7-figure fundraising hub for fundmyhome.org. And they understand, I know that in order for them to be able to do that, they're going to be challenged. They're going to have to learn some things. They're going to have to get a team to help them. They're going to have to, start doing some things different and think outside the box and so on and so forth. So it's definitely, nothing that we should enter into lightly. All right. Now at fundmyhome.org, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to become a digital marketing specialist, because we know in order for you to be successful as a home, based entrepreneur, and that's basically what most of us are, that you've got to become a specialist in the digital space if you're going to be able to compete in this economy, right? So ClickFunnels is one of the great ways that you could, if you choose this one, and you don't have to, we're creating funnels for you. Okay. But, I got into ClickFunnels today and just started looking at this, and the thing about ClickFunnels, and, we're using Keep CRM software, and I'm able to go in there and build a digital funnel. So I can go in and build an email, they call it email drip campaign. I can build a text drip campaign. I can put together a campaign that leads people, if someone goes in and clicks on a video, then I know they clicked on a video. Once they click on the video, it asks them if they'd like more information. If they say yes, then they share their email address with us, and then automatically my CRM will send them a video that gives them the information they were looking for. And then if they want more information, we'll give them an option maybe to jump on a webinar or do a one-on-one or a teleconference or whatever the case might be. We can set up that entire funnel. And that's what we're talking about now is when we become digital marketing specialists. This is where we want to get to. We have these funnels, but I want you to understand the big picture. The big picture is the foundation of having a funnel mindset. And that's what we're doing here. See, I could talk about social media, for example, and I use this already. I've used this in several of my lessons, my coaching sessions, is, building a Facebook page, for example. It's the same funnel mindset. So I'm building a Facebook page right now. I put ads on there that are about the marketplace. I put articles that are about the marketplace. I'm not asking anybody to do anything. I'm just adding value. I'm giving them information. I'm putting ads, some paid ads on there about, moving to Florida, and with some video on there. I'm paying for some ads just to get people to like my page so I can grow a bigger following, because it's called the herd mentality. When people see, they go on your Facebook page and you've got, just 10 or 15 followers, then they're going to like, oh, wow, I don't think I'm going to follow this guy. He's not very successful, blah, blah, blah. That's the way people think. So you got to build your presence on there. You got to get to the crowds, so you start to build your social media presence, and people then look at you as a perceived expert, even though you may not be there yet, but as long as you're one step ahead of them, you are, and things start to grow and develop for you. And that's what we're talking about. So as a digital marketing specialist, what we're looking at now is, okay, we're at this crossroads now. So I get it now. I understand that it's the sales process, the sales funnel mindset hasn't changed. But now the question is, how do I transfer that to the canvas of the digital space? So one of the ways you can go about doing that is, and again, we've got some landing pages and marketing videos we've created for you. We're helping all of our associates get set up with that. But another option for you is you can go out and use something like ClickFunnels, and they've already got these funnels that are built for you. They've got templates of funnels that they've created, and I think it's worth a watch here just to show you, because they're being incredibly successful with this. So now, again, you're a small business entrepreneur. And hopefully you're going to become a large business entrepreneur. But in order for you to get there, you're going to have to make some investments, right? So now we're giving you all that we can give you. But if you really want to take it to the next level, then you're either going to have to get in here and go through the learning curve and learn some of these things, or you can get a virtual assistant or somebody to help you. You're probably going to have to pay them or bless them somehow. Or you can go in and purchase some of these funnels, like this ClickFunnel. Let's just watch the video just to hear a few people talk about how this has helped their business.
There's just been so many tools out there. Very few have been aggregated to do everything you need to do to create success.
ClickFunnels came out of nowhere. They took the marketplace by storm, just like Apple did when they first launched the iPhone.
ClickFunnels allows you to sell a product online quicker and faster than anything you've ever seen in your life.
It's just a simple way of making pages that convert. I mean, they're like business-oriented templates that already start beautiful that you can very easily customize.
I can be one guy sitting in a basement somewhere with a dream and a picture in my head, and in like no time at all, I've got this finished product. And it's not just a mock-up, dude, it's a finished product.
It's just drag and drop instead of coding.
I think that most people, when they hear technology, they get scared. You don't have to be scared anymore.
It's taking the sales process from in-person and just transferring the exact thing online.
Rather than taking a shotgun and blasting an entire market, you take this targeted approach and find the people who really are coming towards you already and help them along.
You can lead them through the steps of, okay, here's who we are, here's what we do, would you like to get some more information? Yes, okay, great.
So I had someone ask me that the other day. They said, what business can you use it with? And I said, everything.
We help gyms scale their businesses.
We're in the weight loss industry.
I have G.O.A.T.
teaching people how to do e-com.
We have a coaching company.
I'm an Instagram marketer.
An organic skincare company.
We teach entrepreneurs how to do product launches.
I help people write and publish books. An advertising agency.
And I'm the executive director of a nonprofit.
I'm a content creator. I'm a blogger.
But I hope that, again, there's challenges here, right? I hope that that you were inspired by watching that video, because you see that, there's a broad spectrum of people from young to old to goats. I mean, the guy's selling goats, but he's doing it with using these tools. And what it does to me, it inspires me, because, my vision, my goal is to create generational wealth so I can be a blessing to my children, my children's children, and for generations to come, but also to be able to help other people spiritually, physically, and financially, and really change the world. And guess what? We're able to do that now. We're able to do that rather quickly now, because we've got this technology, if we learn how to use it right. Okay. And that's the key. So, again, I'm just giving you some options out there. ClickFunnels is certainly just one of them. Now, you were watching when she talked about the templates, you know, and being in the drag and drop capabilities and stuff. You know, our CRM software that I'm using here enables me to build these entire funnels and landing pages where there's hundreds of templates and things like that. And that's how I'm starting to build these for our company. And I'm by no means a guru or expert at it, but I've learned how to do it now. I think I'm putting out some pretty good products out there. I'm getting some great feedback. I'm getting some results, you know, from some of those things. So, but this is an option for you. So, you know, again, you might want to think about, you know, doing some research. And I did a lot of research. Before we chose Keep, because I was looking for a customer relations management tool, which Keep is, CRM, but also a tool that enabled me to build landing pages and to put together sales funnels and do automated email blasts and do, you know, actually email blasts too, where I could put thousands of emails out there, you know, but there's a cost to that, you know, and we've got it negotiated with CRM to where you could purchase that for a 20% discount. I believe it's something like $159 a month, your cost to be able to do that. And you can start going down that learning curve. It's not easy. I'll be honest with you. You only get 2, 3, 4 hours of training from them. The rest of it is on your own. And it's one of those things you got to sit there and just watch videos and learn it. You know, it's not easy, but you could also do something like ClickFunnels right here. You could come in and, you know, this is much easier than, you know, learning it from scratch, you know, like I am. They've already got the funnel put together for you where it's an automated sequence. You're just going in and dragging and dropping your product in there, your text in there, and they've got the funnel put together for you. Okay. So it's a pretty good offer. I'm not here to sell ClickFunnels, obviously, but anyway, so that the thing I want you to really leave with here today is, first of all, you know, you're in a great place. We're in an incredible time here right now that we're in with the technology that we have to reach anyone anywhere in the world that's got an internet connection, if we're creative. And, you know, we've got great services and products that we offer. So we're in a great place. And again, you know, next week we're going to be getting into a little more of the, you know, what do we have available right now, the how-to, you know, of maybe setting up a Google ad. And I think what I'm going to do with that is the Google AdWords and the YouTube ads and things like that. Now I'm doing it. You know, I've got a YouTube ad running right now. And there's some challenges to that, but you know, it's one thing to run an ad. It's another thing to run an ad that really creates results, you know? So I want to bring in some experts. I'm going to be looking to do that next week, or at least pull together some really good content videos for our class next week that'll teach us how to take it to the next level with some of those things. Focus on social media a lot. And again, you know, talking about the way to build a presence on social media. And, you know, again, I'll bring in some experts on that as well. I know some, so that'll help all of us take it to the next level there as well. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the share, and we're gonna open things up. And you know, like we did on some of you on our last call, you know, if you got a question or a comment, you know, please just go ahead and you know, hit me up in the chat box with a question or comment you'd like to have. I'll call on you and we can unmute and we can do that. Certainly like to hear from anyone or everyone. Okay. Last week I went round robin and called on everyone, but you know, anybody got any questions, comments, anything you'd like to? Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to jump in, Scott. Okay. First off, thank you for this training. I love the mindset and I love the training of this, because in our COVID environment that we're going to be in for the unforeseeable future, and just how things have changed, you know, we're more online than ever. I think it's a critical skill, now not an option, but a critical skill to really learn how to market and communicate effectively with people online. You know, whether we get to go back, you know, mid-year or so to meeting in person or not, just looking at, you know, economies of scale, just being able to, you know, instead of trying to get out and meet people and go through traffic or whatever as we used to live, and just be able to use these tools to reach a large number of people relatively quickly, I think it's incredible. So I'm really excited about this. I'm really committed and dedicated to learning this, and I'm thankful for all these this mindset and tools that you are exposing us to help train us, because I really feel it's an essential. It's no longer an option if you're in business. It's essential that you have some grasp of how to use these tools appropriate for your business. So I thank you.
Okay, excellent. And really appreciate you, Orlando. And like I said, you're certainly a lion leader and someone I'm learning from as well. So I appreciate working with you. All right, so Tina, can we see some funnel examples as they are created, please? Yeah, we can do that. Let's see. Let me do another screen share. And you might see Arnold Schwarzenegger here and there. That's just, I'm a visionary, so I want to keep in good shape. I want to make my next 20 my best 20. So I got to be inspired all the time. Let me show you a few funnels that we have. Oops, give me a minute. That's not where I want to be. How about, whoop. All right, so here's one here. This is one that that we use in our new opportunity presentation that I did today, actually. So this is a new funnel that is available to all of our associates. And again, you can get this by emailing your executive assistant. Or if you haven't onboarded in the last 60 days, support@fumhome.org, you need to onboard, but then you'll get to know your executive assistant. You'll have their direct email and their contact information, and tell them you would like to have the new realtor landing page or funnel that we'll call it. So this is really directed toward Florida and Texas realtors. Wanted, we got some imagery on here. Again, we kind of, tell them about their pain. They're giving away commissions. They're not closing on as many deals as they could be, so on and so forth. And then we give them what we got. We show them, what we have in the way of a value add, with our incredible down payment assistance and the ability to them to get all of their home buyers grants. And we've got videos on here that they can watch that, really add value and credibility to everything that we're sharing with them. We're going over the benefits with them. And we're leading them to the end. The call to action is, hey, you know what? I'm interested. I'd like a little more information, and getting them to give us their email and contact information, and then we can send them what we want. And that's where the next challenge would come in. But this is a great tool. I've gotten a number of responses from this. I've got about 14 realtors that ask for more information, that are in my little funnel. And I haven't been able to spend a lot of time on marketing because I've been so busy trying to build marketing tools, but that's okay. That's what I'm here to do. Okay. So, but that's one that I wanted to share with you, and when it comes to marketing tools too, I actually like to show this, our executive summary, because this is a powerful tool here, and one of the things about the executive summary is we can take this executive summary, and I'm going to make this, I just got to get Carlos's permission, but I'm going to make this available to all of our line leaders and those that are out there that have a vision, certainly to all of our fundraisers out there, because this executive summary is really adds credibility to who we are, to what we do, and it speaks to the problem in our country and how, look at these powerful testimonials that are on here. And this is really, executive summaries are, written up for businesses. They're looking for investors or bank financing, or for fundraising, things like that. They want to know who they're dealing with, what problem that your organization helps you to help solve, and how you go about solving it. And they want to see proof of that. We've got all that in our executive summary here. So, it's again, this is a funnel, so to speak, that walks a philanthropist, a corporate sponsor, anyone that's interested in, donating large or small sums of money, would want to see something like this. Okay. We talk about the market in here, but this is an example of digital marketing here. This is it's called a digital pitch deck. Really, it's a pitch deck. And it's going to be used for us to generate millions of dollars. So, we've got that tool available that we've done in-house. Okay. What What else we got? We got this one. This was the first funnel that I created, and I still like this a lot. I think it's rather pleasing to the eye. It looks interesting. It talks about our mission. It's got a video on here of how our down payment assistance works, the financials of that, how you can really make a lot of money, sharing this with others. It's got some testimonials on here. It's got, let's say somebody goes through that first section of this funnel. Okay. And this is kind of a funnel landing page. And they read about this down payment and they're living in Florida and they say, well, what the heck? These guys, all guys and gals and these families got these down payment assistance. I want to get a house. Let me see if I can get one. Well, right here, we got a call to action. If they click on there, it takes them right into my back office. Well, this would be your back office, and they can come in here and find out more about what we do. They can, send me an email, whatever the case might be. We've got that set up to where that's your information in there. Okay. And you're able to use that funnel. And then we're giving them more information, talking about our fundraising opportunity, doing some educational stuff on how, it's really the easiest way for someone to, create generational wealth for their family is to own a home and be able to pass it on to them and so on and so forth. Again, talking about the prosperity opportunity with our opportunity. Okay, they're ready to join, man. They went through all this, they're ready to join. So they click on there, they're ready to join. They're going right into my associate page where they can sign up, okay? And it tells them how to do that. That's all set up for you, okay? The email, I'd like to schedule a call. I have a few questions, I love what you're doing, but I just want to donate. It takes them right to our donate page where they can come right in here and donate on your page, and you get 7.5% of everything that's donated right on your own page, okay? So I hope that helps you. It's just some of the things that we have here at fundmyhome.org.
Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and remember to hit the notification bell to stay tuned for more important content, our ongoing success, and the happy stories of our down payment assistance recipients.